All right. Hello, good nation. How's everyone doing? We've got Pistol Pete on, Lake Ozark guy. Pistol Pete, nothing locked in yet. Been filling out a bunch of information, and I knew over Christmas time it was probably going to be really crappy. Trying to lock down something because a lot of people are off, all of that stuff. So hopefully this week and next week it'll really crank up. So I'm expecting some calls back from a couple of people. So we'll see if that happens. Hello, Mike Kai. How are you? Screaming Skull Saloon, Dirt Track. Yes, Happy New Year. Hope everyone is having a great 2023 so far. And that was kind of what the title of the chat is. It's 2023. Now what? So, meaning like, what do y'all have going on? What's your plans? What are y'all going to be doing for the year? Do you have any like major goals? You want to get a specific gun? You want to shoot more of something over something else? What do y'all want to do this year? So that's I kind of like left it open this evening so we can get a lot of questions in. I really don't have a lot of information other than the new Rock Island Armory 5.0. Triple C sent me that on Instagram, and then LW Road did a video on it. But since I don't have Instagram anymore, hello Chris, how are you, man? And Chris has a chat this evening, so if y'all want to tune into it, it's right after mine. Hello, Gun Snob, how are you? And cheers, everyone, to 2023. We're in it now, so little noteworthy reserve, so pretty good stuff. But and did y'all go out and party hard over New Year's and all that stuff? We didn't. We just stayed home and kind of chilled and made some food and watched some TV. Just kind of chilled out. That's what we did. So if y'all did any wild, crazy stuff, let us know about it. But is anybody y'all excited about the Rock Island Armory? 5.0. It kind of doesn't have a round barrel. It's kind of a square type barrel. If y'all haven't seen any information on it, y'all can pull it up. But I'm sure some people will like it. I think the first iteration is going to have the Seymour sight on it, which is a good sight. So but didn't know if y'all were excited about that. Hello, Mike Kai. How are you? Brian Duchesne, Pistol Pete. I like a DWX. Yeah, yeah. Guess Honest got his and he likes it. He does wish it was optic ready, like what I said. But and watching his video or just listening to his video, he kind of he kind of summed it up. Kind of was what my thought was. Not saying I'm not ever going to get one. I'm just not right now because I would rather wait for the optic ready version. And yes, I could get one and mill it and all that other stuff. But if you have like a really good 2011, um, is the DWX a must? It might be, it might not be for some people. Or if you don't have any investment in 2011 and you want something like that, that's going to be a cheaper option. And it does take PO9 mags, which PO9 mags are a lot cheaper than 2011 mags. So that could be an option for some people. Or if you don't like a grip safety, that would definitely be an option for those people. But hello, Bald and Curious. How are you? Let's see here. Uh, Brian is saying DWX or Staccato P. For me right now, I haven't shot the DWX. I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with the DWX, but for me, Staccato P. I really, really love 1911/2011s, and the DWX does have that type of trigger. Um, I think that DWX is actually going to have better ergonomics for most people over a 2011 because they're kind of thick and chunky. So I think most people will like the DWX better, probably for the ergonomics. But as far as the shooting characteristics, I think they're both going to be about the same. I really don't see a benefit in one over the other personally. You got to remember that thing was supposed to come out like 3 years ago. So I was super excited about it before I really even got into 2011s. But since we were waiting and waiting and waiting, that's what pushed me to staccato. And I'm glad I got staccatos. And then, of course, the MPAs and things like that. Matter of fact, if Arced Guns, we met up. I shot some of his guns. He shot some of mine. He shot the DS9 hybrid and the DS9 carry. And he actually released a video tonight about them and what he thought about them. So if y'all want to check it out, go over and check out Arced Guns. He really seemed to like them. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, Rock Island has made some, pretty decent ones. The ones I have shot, and I, I'm just trying to really kind of pick things apart. Nothing's perfect. They do have kind of sharp edges on them, like as far as the safety, I've gotten cut up by one, but they can be deburred and things like that. But as far as shooting, they shoot pretty good. Um, you know, of course, I haven't seen an optic ready one yet from Rock Island. Maybe they'll come out with that also. But yeah, Pistol Pete, the DWX optic ready is supposed to be out in the second quarter of this year and Q2. So we'll see. Like I was saying last time, if they make it, they might have it available and then have no plates available for a couple more months. Who knows? So I think they should have just came out with that first and only had one SKU number. That just makes a lot of sense to me. Why have a non-optic ready and an optic ready? If people don't want to put an optic on it, they just leave the cover plate on it. I mean, it's kind of simple. It would save a bunch of extra bullshit, personally, in my opinion. But what do I know? All right, let's see what Screamin' said. My plan is to buy more and more quality defensive 9mm, like Spear Gold Dot, Federal HST, Underwood Extreme, Defender, and Black Hills, Honey Badger, 100 grain plus P. There you go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with defensive ammo by any means. If you don't have enough of it, definitely load up on it. Hello, Keenan. How are you, sir? If y'all haven't checked out Keenan's channel, please do. He makes some really good videos. Like-minded people, 2A guy. So go over and check out Keenan. And also buy a few more standard capacity mags for my handguns and rifles. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw that Bowtac. I posted it up the other day. It was yesterday, actually. So my community tab, if you want to see it. But they had Lancer mags. Now, only the FDE and the kind of darker, the smoked gray or smoked black, they had them for $9.99 for Lancer mags. That's pretty unbelievable. And they were the full, I can't say it, but they were the standard capacity mags, if you know where I'm going. Because YouTube, you can't say that word. Hello, Dennis Buckner. How are you? Let's see here. Everyone just came in to say Happy New Year, not feeling so hot. Yeah, man, rest up. Dennis, I appreciate you jumping in. Hello, Double B. How are you? Doubt DWX is better than 2011. Only upside I can see is the ability to change grips and customize the grip a little. And I do agree with that. I think the ergonomics are going to be better. But if you've already got 2011s, I don't really see what you can gain out of it. Y'all all know that I'm a big Dan Wesson and CZ fan. So it would be a gun that I would probably like to eventually add to my collection, but nothing I absolutely have to have. Yeah, Double B, I saw some pictures people sent me, like the ported and stuff where people are already souping them up, and I think that's cool. Ooh, Dennis had shoulder surgery. Oh man, I've been there many times. This one's been rebuilt and this one's been rebuilt. So definitely, man, take care. I don't know if you had rotator cuff, bicep tendon, lateral joints. That's what I had rebuilt, and it is not fun. I've had knee surgeries, leg surgeries, hand surgeries, all that crap, and the shoulder, to me, by far, is the worst. It sucks. So get better, man. Hopefully they'll pump you full of morphine and you can just chill. Matter of fact, when I had one of my surgeries, I was on something. I had to get off that shit. They put me on something that was like I don't know, code for whatever. And I was sitting in my room, and my wife came in. She's put me in here, and after my surgery, put me in here, and I was just sitting in my chair, and I was just sitting there, and she came in and she said, "Well, are you okay? What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm watching TV." And she said, "The TV's not even on." I mean, I was out of my mind. I had to get off that crap. I did not. I told her after that I was never taking any more of those pills. That shit messed me up. DWX slide is really good. Pistol returns to zero nicely. About the same time you can acquire the sight picture again. DWX slide speed is fairly slow, but close to sight picture spears again. Yeah, it's a 5-inch slide, so it is going to be slower. Um, you know, but like I said, it just depends on what you want. I was wondering about the dip on it, especially with the flashlight. It could be really, really muzzle heavy, but you know, it is what it is. Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? If Oracle will hold up to its hype, will steal customers from Staccato and DWX. Yeah, I'm excited about seeing that Oracle 2311. Um, Harry's going. I think Humble's going, so I asked him to check it out for me. And I know Chris is going, so he can check it out for us. But you know, yeah, I mean, who knows? Like I said, I shot one of the earlier Grisham or Grishall or however you pronounce that. 1911s, just the regular plain one. This was one that first came out. It wasn't my gun, it was another guy's gun. And I shot it. And it had some feeding issues. It didn't feed very well. Uh, and he asked me what I should do. And I looked at the feed ramp and everything. And I said that he should polish it and throat it. And he wasn't local to me. So he took it to his gunsmith and had it throated and polished. And after that, it ran really well. And plus, he had it under lubed, but I had lubed it thinking that's what it was, and it ran a little better, but it still wasn't feeding properly. But that was one of like the very early models they had, so I'm sure they've gotten better, or I would hope they've gotten better. Hello, reloading from the hot pot. How are you, sir? Yeah, good. Screaming Skulls. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to sub to all these channels out here, share the love, help each other out. Hello, Denton. How are you? Really hard to beat a Lancer magazine. Won't run anything but Lancer mags in my 300 blackout. I love Lancer mags. Y'all all know that. I run them in my 308s, AR-15s, 300 blackouts, subs, and supers. I've got tons of Lancer. I mean, I have tons of mags, period, but I'm a big, big Lancer fan. And I do like some of their colors too. I've got orange, which is kind of rare, or it was rare for a long time. It's not now. I've got some orange, I've got some green, I've got some red, I've got some purple. Um, there's another color I have. Oh, it's kind of a bluish. First I thought it was purple, but it's actually blue. Hello, Havoc. Long time no hear from, man. How are you been? Bald, that's not even right, man. That is not even right, dude. That's wrong. Shoulder surgery is no joke. It sucks. Ooh, Vanessa, ooh, man, that's bad. Not good. Does CZ have any kind of custom shop in house like Smith and Wesson custom shop? No, all they have is CZ Customs. It's not really they. CZ Custom. Angus, I've met him personally. Really nice guy, and a great shooter himself. He's been a world champion and all that stuff. They usually get guns from CZ and then they take them to their shop and customize them up. So I know that they're gonna CZ Custom will start doing some custom DWX stuff. I'm almost positive they will. But there you go. Let's see. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. I seen that you recently reviewed the Precision Armament Hyper Tap muzzle brake. I got one last spring and love it. Yeah, they're great muzzle brakes. I mean, I've had gosh, I think this is like my fifth precision armament comp or break, whatever you want to call them. I've got them on one of my 308s. Now the thing is I do run brakes sometimes, and then I'll unscrew them or take them off for a while and run my suppressors. But no, they're great. I mean, they definitely keep the guns flat. Now some of them are really loud, like the one on my 308 is super loud. However, it's designed to be loud and keep that 308 super flat. So that's what it's designed to do. Yeah, it's private land is definitely, if you can have private land or have access to it, that's definitely the way to be. And you'll notice I've got some videos that I shot when I was testing out ARCS guns. I still have, gosh, like 4 videos that I haven't released yet on some guns. Some of them surprised me. Y'all already saw the one on the PDP, or maybe you haven't, but I did one on the PDP compact. That was my very, very first time of actually shooting a PDP. I've played with them and finger banged them and things like that, but never shot one. So I've got the video on that. It's just, so these are guns I've never shot before. One of them that I haven't released the video on yet was very, very surprising, even to me. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, this gun's a shooter. So I think you'll notice it. And I was 100% legit, 100% real facial expressions. One of the guns actually really, really surprised me of how much I actually liked it. So, and it wasn't the PDP. I'll let that out of the bag. But I think y'all will actually like the video. I really don't want to say the gun because it'll completely give it away. But I think y'all are going to be real surprised by it. I definitely was surprised about it. All right, Brian. Hey, that's interesting. I love to cook. How do you make your baked potatoes? Pics you posted of the steaks and potatoes looked fantastic. Yeah, it was awesome. The baked potatoes, I actually put them in a bag, a big Ziploc bag. I put olive oil in there. I put rock salt, and I shake them up. You know, first I kind of massaged them in olive oil, then I put them in that bag and put rock salt in them. Then I actually put them on a flat pan with foil on it, and then I sprinkle a little bit more of the rock salt on it, and then I bake them for an hour at 400 degrees, and they were amazing. Olive oil actually makes the skin a little crispy because I love potato skin. I eat the skin too. Some people don't, but I do. But it makes the skin just a little crispy, so I don't wrap them in foil. And of course, I stabbed them, first all the way around. But and then the steaks, those were fillets and sirloins. I marinated those for about 36 hours in a special marinade that I make up. And then those were cooked in a cast iron skillet on one side, and then I actually flipped them over, and then I moved them to a 300-degree oven. So my wife likes hers kind of more medium well, and I like mine medium, so I had to adjust and move some in and out, and then I let them rest, of course. Lakeview is saying, what's everyone's favorite gun lube? I really like Lucas Extreme. I've been using it for a long time. Really do like it. Haven't had any problems with it. I was running some stuff, and I don't want to say the name because I'm not here to bash anybody. But if you go way back, you'll see what I was running before. And I actually had some failures with that lube. I was baking it off pretty well. So I did get rid of it. I don't use it anymore at all. Let's just say, well, I'll let you know, it's clear. And it starts with a B. Or hell, I'll say it. I ain't scared. It's Breakthrough. I had some issues with that. So, and I ran it for a long time. And then with a lot of rapid shots and things like that, I had some problems with it baking off pretty quick. And I'm talking even running things a little wetter. So I had a lot of breakdown with it. So I quit using it. And I haven't had any problems with the Lucas. And I still have Ballistol. I still have a bunch of other gun lube. I even have some gun butter. I haven't tried it yet. MPA swears by it. I've got some friends who use it, and they're like, you need to use gun butter. But I personally haven't used it yet, and I've got a little sample bottle of it, so I might give it a whirl. Yep, Lancer mags are good to go. They're saying on the Oracle that what I heard is they're going to have one version for like $1,000. They're going to have one for like 2,100, which is going to be like one of the top notch ones. And then I think one in between those two. So they're going to have like 3 or 4 versions. I think the most expensive is like $21.99 or $22.99 or something like that. So, or maybe it was $26.99. I'm not sure, but I thought it was $22.99, but I could be wrong. But who knows about the street price? Hello, Clyde. How are you, man? Yeah, and I've got a buddy that has the new Canic, metal Canic. He posted it on Instagram. Y'all know who it is if you've seen it. So I guess he's been running it. So if y'all are interested in that, he should have a review out on it pretty quick. Havoc is saying, for my competition shooters, USPSA, what are your thoughts on the proposed new limited optics division? Allows single action only, magwells, slide rackers, etc. I think they should have had that ages ago. That was one of the reasons I was pissed off. I even bitched to Humble about that quite a bit. I mean, so many people are carrying staccatos, 2011s, whatever, but they were getting thrown and open, right off the bat. And I think if you want more people to join USPSA and things like that, you need to make it even offer, another division. I know it's USPSA and they want to stay, stay to the roots and all of this other stuff. But production is dead. It always has been dead. I know some people shoot it, and I'm not hating on it if you shoot it, but the standard old production is boring. So they could have dumped that and brought in another. And I was even coming up with it was like, if it was like Carry Optics 2 or something, I was coming up with some names, if y'all remember way back. And, because you could go to the tactical games, you could do all that other stuff and you could play. But, because at our events, we used to have police officers come out. Some of them carried dots and things like that, and they could shoot and carry optics. But, I have a lot of police officers in our area, even the Texas Rangers that actually carry staccatos now with dots. And if they want to go out there and play, they're automatically thrown into open. So I just think just make it more inviting for everyone. Why not? I mean, it's no hair off their ass. All it's going to do is get more people to play the game. What is the heaviest super grain you recommend for 300 with a 10.5-inch barrel? Super grain? Are you talking about subs? The highest sub grain I've ever shot with my 300 blackout is 220 grain. And then the lightest I've ever shot is 110 grain. That's a good thing about 300 blackout. You can shoot supers and subs. I don't like 150. That's the middle of the road, but it's probably the least accurate. Or I have found it's the least accurate out of all 300 blackout rounds is the 150 grain. So I try to stay low for supersonic, and then 200 to 220 for subsonic. But I will say this, and I'm probably the only person in the world on my 300 blackout for personal defense, I stay with supersonic. So all of my guns are set to supersonic. They're all locked into supersonic, and I know my drop, which you can have a shitload of drop with your subsonic. So that's the highest grain I guess I've ever shot is the 220. But I think 200 is pretty much what you find everywhere. Hello, Scott. How are you? Should allow single action only in magwells and carry optics and call it a day. I agree, Havoc, because, and I've said this also, okay, you got a striker fire guy, okay? He comes out and draws. A single action guy has to come out, flip his safety off, his manual safety on the side, and then shoot. So if you put both of those on a timer, they're probably, if anything, your single action guy has to turn the safety off where your striker fire guy doesn't. So I don't really see what their big holdup is on that. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. So yeah, the all metal or all steel Canic. That's the one I was talking about. Earlier, I was talking about the Rock Island Arms 5.0. Slip 2000, I've got some of that also. Pistol Pete, nothing surprises me, and I'm not even joking around. I have so many of these live chats that are demonetized for absolutely no reason. The second I put these out and they go live, YouTube demonetizes them. I haven't checked. They might have already demonetized this, but they demonetize it, and then I have to ask, hey, remonetize it or ask for a review, because I've said nothing wrong in these. If I cuss or talk about politics, it seems they get all butthurt, but whatever. My guy uses Astroglide. Hey, that works really good in some tight places. Pistol Pete says, I'd like to shoot the TS2 orange when I actually see one. Yeah, I mean, I think that they're really cool guns. They should limit mag capacity. Only division with crazy mags should be open in PCC. They should just allow 2011 to carry optics and limit capacity to like 17 rounds. Yeah, I mean, I just let everybody play. Man, I hope so. I hope, David. I hope we start doing some stuff. Pistol Pete wants to know if anyone here owns a Tesla. I have a couple of buddies. Well, it's an acquaintance that has a Tesla, and I've got a neighbor that has a Tesla. I think I told y'all that. One of my neighbors bought a Tesla. They sold their other cars and bought a Tesla. And then they were going to take a trip to see their daughter and I guess their new grandbaby and all this other stuff. And they started figuring up the route and stuff. And there wasn't going to be enough charging stations for them to make it. So they bought a brand new Tesla S. And then they had to rent a gasoline car, had to go rent one to go see their daughter. And I told him, I'm like, dude, you had two really nice cars, gas cars. Why didn't you just keep one of them for shit like that? But whatever, I guess he lives and learned. Yeah, PCC, man, those guys can shred with those things. The Tesla build quality, I don't know if y'all have really checked them out. Some of their build quality is kind of shit. I'm not trying to beat up anybody that has a Tesla, but if you look at some of the door jambs and some of the trims and stuff like that, they're not that great. I mean, I think they're really fast and cool. And I've driven one, but I didn't like let it rip. And then I was in a Tesla Plaid, and the guy that was driving it was just ripping that thing, and it's incredibly fast. But I guess I was asking it wrong. I'm not running a suppressed 10.5 300. What's the heaviest grain and still be considered supersonic? It really kind of goes from 150. I think 150 is still supersonic, I believe. Maybe it's not. I think it is. Because I haven't seen like a 160 or a 170. I've only seen I think a 190. And of course, that's subsonic. Supersonic, I think 150 is supersonic. Don't quote me on that. Because because I dominantly, for my supersonics, I shoot 110 and 125. Those are my favorite for 300 blackout. I've got some 110 with the red tip. What is it called? A VMAX? I believe it's called a VMAX. And those things are nasty. They're nasty. So I'm not sure on where the cutoff exactly is. What gun cartridge hyped but flopped on arrival? 224 Valkyrie and 30 Super Carry. Those are my two. 224 Valkyrie hung around. They tried to get it right. They shit the bed. Still couldn't get it right. And now nobody has 224 Valkyrie. Or if they have it, they just have the rifle and don't ever shoot it anymore. Pranic is saying 30 Super Carry. Yep, Scott's saying 30 Super Carry. Sorry, I didn't see y'all's answers, but they were at the bottom. I'm pulling the chat up here on my end. Yeah, I've said that before, Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete, I had a 69 442. Awesome ride. Matter of fact, I had a little tag on the license plate that I had made, and I still have the tag. I should show it sometime, but it said "Let 69 in my 69." That was in my younger days, you know, trying to be a little smart ass. Rich B, now that I have a Staccato P and have shot it and love it, how does the XC compare besides the higher price? Rich, the XC is flatter. Now, I don't know on your P if you have the aluminum or the steel P, okay? Mine is the all aluminum. Mine is the threaded barrel and also run the Threat Cadre comp. So it's got a comp on it. My Staccato P aluminum with threaded barrel and the comp, the Threat Cadre comp, is as flat as an XC. I've compared them side by side on video, and it's as flat as an XC. The XC has more front weight. It has an island barrel, but that is not just a comp, that's a weight. So it does add weight to it, but you can run flashlights on both of them if you really want to weight down the front even more or a little more. But I absolutely love my Staccato P with the Threat Cadre comp. That thing, matter of fact, I've got a video on it. Y'all haven't seen it yet, but that thing is a shooter. It's on freaking rails. So the steel P is, of course, heavier. Not as heavy as the XC, but the comp on the XC really does work. Also, the XC is sprung differently, so it's got a lighter recoil spring. I mean, it's a flat-ass shooting gun. So you really can't go wrong with an XC. But in my opinion, I would get the aluminum P because it's easier to carry. It's lighter. And I'd run the Threat Cadre comp. The only thing is with the Threat Cadre comp, it takes the slide out to a 5.2 inch slide. The P turns into a 5.2, which is equal to a 5.3. So it's equal to an XL slide. I do carry an appendix, but it makes it a long barrel. But I love it. So, hello, Norwood. How are you? 30 Super Carry Clyde has pretty much already shit the bed. You don't hear a soul talking about 30 Super Carry anymore. David, 30 Super Carry was supposed to be between a 380 and a 9mm. Supposed to be able to carry more capacity than a 9mm, like one or two more rounds. Had about the same energy, was supposedly less recoil, but I'm not recoil sensitive. Yeah, and the trigger is better on the XC. I did forgot to say that, but I usually change all my triggers to flat face triggers. Aluminum, but no threaded barrel. I mean, like I said, you can crank down on either one of them, but the XC is going to be probably flatter with perfect grip to perfect grip because of the comp and the island barrel being heavier on the front. Yeah, I saw that, Bald. I figured it's probably coming for all of us. You know, they do link to Ventura Ammunition and some other things, you know, that do sell the pew-pews. But, you know, I figured they're probably coming for all of us. David said if 9mm is enough, 10mm will do. Yeah, that's like everybody used to say, why do you carry a 45? Well, because they don't make a 46. And 2 world wars and God's caliber. 45 is God's caliber. I still love 45. I know people will be like, that's a FUD round. But it's still a lot of fun for me to shoot. And I'm not knocking 10mm. I mean, I've shot tons of 10mm, but I just don't own any of them anymore. Let's see here. Does anyone know if a Walther PPQ barrel will work on a Walther PDP? I have a threaded PPQ Navy barrel, and I'm thinking of getting a full-size PDP. Supposedly, you can take the complete slide off and move it right over to the PDP frame, supposedly. I've seen people do it. But I don't know if the barrel, like putting it in, I don't know if the barrels are compatible, like switching just the barrel, but you could move the whole slide over, if you wanted to do something like that. But they do make a 46. I know, a 460 rolling. Yep. I do know that. But back in the day, they didn't. But anything else y'all are excited about? What about SHOT Show? Are y'all hearing anything or seeing anything? I know Chris is going to be there. Some other people are going to be there. But is there anything exciting that y'all are wanting someone to come out with? Anything that y'all have heard about that you're excited about? I don't know if y'all saw the new POF Tombstone. It's the new lever gun that POF, and I love POF, but the new lever gun that POF came out with, they've got 25 round mags, and their Phoenix 35 round mag will fit. So it's a lever gun with a freaking mag sticking out of the bottom of it like that long. It looks like a damn bipod. And it is kind of a, cool combat, like a modern type lever gun, which is cool. But hear me out on this. If I were POF, they already have the Phoenix, which is their PCC. So on that lever gun that they came out with, this is what I would have done. I would have made that lever gun. I would have made it in 308 because it's an 80 round. I would have made that lever gun in 308, and I would use the regular box mags, which are common on all 308s. God, what are they called? Like the PCC type mags, the SR25 or SR whatever they are mags. I would have made it take those mags so you could run 10 rounds, 25 rounds, 35 rounds, but I would have made it a 308. There's not many 308 lever guns. I think that would have been really cool. Tons of people make 4570s and 3030s and all that other stuff, but I think 308 would have been completely badass. But to have the Phoenix in a 9mm and now the Tombstone in a 9mm, I'm like, whatever. I don't know. SR25, yeah. I don't think that was a good call personally. I mean, people are going to buy it. I could see people like in Bald State or blue states buying that lever gun because that's going to be a great option because there's no semi-automatic. But in a free state, and they're at a Phoenix, so that's why I was like, really? And I don't know if you've seen their commercial or their YouTube video for it. And like I said, I love POF, but that video was honestly kind of cringe. They're going off the Tombstone, like riding a horse, like the movie Tombstone. And I'm just like, oh man, I mean, that's just my opinion. I know people will buy it. Some people probably like it. And some people are like, Big Johnson, you're full of shit. But I'm like, man, make it a beefy ass caliber. If you're going to make some badass lever gun, make it something that people are going to get after. Let's see here. Yeah, they've got the 10mm Glock now, the Gen 5. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. Yeah, Pistol Pete, I have a feeling, this is just something I have a feeling on. I think they're going to come out with a P10 and 10mm. I've said that because they came out with the 45. A lot of people really like the 45, but a lot of people were screaming, don't make the 45, make 10mm. I do think they're going to come out with one. And if they do, I hope they come out with it with optic ready right off the bat. Yeah, 308 lever gun, man. I've only shot one 308 lever gun in my life. It was not mine. I can't remember the brand. It's not a common brand, but man, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. But it had the regular peep sights on it, you know, not didn't have a rail on the top for an optic or anything. And I was like, man, if this had an optic rail, it'd be sweet. And the POF has the optic rail and everything else. So I'm like, man, that'd be cool in a 308. And they're kind of known for like badass cool shit. Like I've got their 12 and a half 308, which is awesome. I love it. If y'all remember, I was the first one to get it, and I had problems with mine. My bolt carrier group let loose. The gas block blew out, and so I had problems with it. Now I haven't since. They replaced the whole bolt carrier group, and it's been running like a sewing machine. But I don't know. I was just like 9mm, really, and I like 9mm, but I'm like, we don't need any more PCCs. Yeah, and if CZ, and that was another thing I thought, Keenan, when they dropped the 97B and the 97BD, I was thinking they were going to re-release that in a 10mm also, but it hasn't happened yet. So I think that would be cool too. You know, I love my 97B, but it is 45, and I wish it were optic ready, but that little stupid plunger. When I talked to the guys to get it milled, they're like, we can, but you're going to have a big ass plate on it, and it's going to have to stick out. It's probably not going to look that good. So I didn't want to jank it all up. But yeah, there's a lot of things, that I think are cool. And that I'm like, hey, I wish they'd come out with this and with that. But, at the end of the day, if it's going to sell, if they see, it's got a chance in the market. The market is saturated. And I mean, I'm not going to be the first to say this, but the market is saturated with 9mm polymer striker guns, as I call Tupperware wonder guns. Yeah, you can look cool little, serrations or, Cerakote or something like that, but is it really going to shoot any better than another 9mm wonder gun, striker fire gun? Probably not. So I'm hoping they start coming out with like maybe even some more double action, single action, cool aluminum frame guns, maybe more single action guns. Um, and if people want more striker fire, they're going to make them, but it just seems like that's what we always see is just more striker fire stuff. So I'd like to see other things, and I'm glad about this Oracle 2311. I think it's going to be another option. But take care, Screaming Skull. I appreciate you, man. Yep. Havoc, I said that too. I said, man, if Staccato would come out with a C2 and just extend the barrel just a little bit more, maybe like a 4-inch C2 and then put a comp in it, a built-in comp, kind of like the Monsoon Tactical, that would be badass. It'd be like a mini XC. That's kind of what my Staccato 2 has became with the Threat Cadre on it. And it shoots really, really good. I mean, I love it. But I just think that would be cool, to give people a different option. Yeah, I remember the rotating Glock barrel. I guess they have them overseas, but we haven't seen any more over here. So, or haven't seen any over here. I forgot Glocks makes fire logs in Europe. I didn't know they did that, but and also like the Glock AR-15, for that military contract they have. I'm sure once it's out, if they ever make them for production for civilians, people will buy them. I wouldn't. I don't have any reason to have one, but I think for the collectability or the memorabilia to have a Glock AR, I know people will buy it. And that's the thing. I've talked about many, many times. There's nothing wrong with 5.56. Okay, a lot of people have 5.56. They have taken out many, 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 many people. And they do great for distance and things. They just don't have a lot of oomph. But 5.56 is not my favorite AR caliber. It's just not. I prefer a 300 or a 300 Blackout or 308 personally. I like a 30 cal bullet over a 5.56. For distance, 5.56 is better, but it doesn't have the thump at major distances. You know, I mean, it's like you don't want to go out 800 yards and have the thing just bounce off of you. Not saying I would do that with a 5.56. I don't even think I've ever shot a 5.56 that far. I've shot a 308 that far or farther, but I've never shot a 5.56 that far. And I've shot a 3.38 Lapua farther than that. My farthest is 1,250 yards that I've ever shot personally. And I didn't do that till what, like a couple of years ago. And it wasn't my rifle, but you know, and 6.5 Creedmoor is a great round too. Of course, it's flatter than a 308, but anything from 300 to 400 yards, even over a 6.5, I would still rather have a 308, honestly. 6.5 is definitely flatter, but if you know how to shoot, I would still rather have a 308 over a 6.5 within 300 to 400 yards anyway. That's just my opinion. Yeet cannon and 10 millimeter. Yep. I saw that. I told LW Road about it. He did a video on it. I mean, if people like high points, that's cool. Yeah, Clyde. Yeah, I know Roger did that Monsoon Tactical C2. He's done a couple of those. Ooh, what's the most ugliest gun has anyone seen? Wow. What's the ugliest gun? Hello, Casey. How are you? Wow. What's the ugliest gun? Honestly, and I'm not hating, I think the high points are pretty damn ugly. I mean, they're like made out of zinc, if y'all know that. You can drop them and actually just shatter the damn slide on them. High points are freaking ugly as hell. The Ruger, what is it? That Ruger American, I don't really like it either. It kind of looks inbred between a couple of different guns. It's just chunky and fat and doesn't hold enough rounds. I don't even know if they make it anymore. You know, the Glock's not pretty, but we know that it works. You know, I guess there's a lot of guns you could say are ugly or just not your favorite, but you know, I would definitely say the high point's definitely one of the ugliest ones I've seen. Ugly as sin. I say that all the time, David. That's ugly as sin. If you run out of ammo, you could beat someone over the head with that yeet cannon. Yeah, PX Storm is pretty ugly for a rifle. And then also, if you remember the High Point first generation carbine, not the one with the spring, you know, the little spring buttstock, but the first one, I had one of those. I got it for like, I don't know, $60. It was that 9mm, you know, PCC with the 10-round mag. The thing was a piece of shit, but I gotta say this, it freaking ran. I could not kill it. I tried to kill it. I never even cleaned it. I never lubed it. I was hoping I could blow the gun up. I bought it used for like $60 from a buddy of mine. And I called it the Planet of the Apes gun because it didn't have that tactical cool look. It just had this weird, you could probably Google one. I don't have it anymore. I did take it apart at the very end. It took me about an hour to take the damn thing apart because you got to take all these freaking clips off and all this bullshit off to clean it. So I cleaned it and then I sold it to a buddy of mine. And the only reason, and it ran 100% on that little 10-round mag. If you put the Pro Mags in it, you'd void the warranty and it wouldn't run well with Pro Mags. But I sold that gun, or no matter of fact, to take that back, I did not sell it. I gifted it to a friend of mine that their family member needed a home defense gun. So I gifted it. I did a bill of sale, but it was for $0. And that's where it is now. I don't know if it's still with them. I don't know. But, you know, it is what it is. Take care, Havoc. I appreciate you, man. The gold Desert Eagle. One that's uglier than that is the tiger striped Desert Eagle. The gold tiger stripe. That thing is hideous as hell. But, to each their own. I'm just not a Desert Eagle fan. I've shot them and they don't do anything for me. Chiapa Rhino is ugly, but I shot balds and it actually shoots pretty good. Matter of fact, when I shot balds, he can witness this. It blew the end of because I put my thumb right over, held it like a damn semi-automatic instead of pulling my thumb back. And it blew my thumb and just ripped my thumb clean open. Because you shouldn't put your finger there on a revolver. And it lit my thumb up and just blew it wide open. And I was like, well, that's enough shooting the Chiapa Rhino today. First shot, boom! So it ripped it open like nothing. And it bled like a stuck pig. But that's why we have to pay attention. And even Bald reminded me, hey, it's a revolver, keep your thumb back and all that. And then I set it down, we started talking. I picked it right up, held it just like a semi-automatic. Boop. Bedazzled with diamonds. Yeah. I've seen some pretty weird stuff that's been bedazzled. Yes, I know, I just said that. I said you did remind me. And remember, I set the gun down, we started talking, and then what did I do? Stuck my head right up my ass and then blew my thumb open. So it was completely my fault. So yes, you did remind me. So live and learn. But let's see. We only got a few more minutes left. But anything else y'all can think of? Questions, comments? I do want to. I also have a video that I did. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all. I shot it, put some parts on it, shot it again, stuck the video all together, and was going to post it, and YouTube demonetized it instantly. So I requested a review because I didn't do anything wrong in it. The only thing I've done wrong in it is I was blazing this rifle down. Just I was hammering it. So I don't know if that's why they popped it or whatever they did, but they demonetized it. So I'm waiting for it to be approved, either denied or approved. I'm going to put it up either way. But I was hoping to have it out yesterday, and they demonetized it instantly. But I think you're going to like it. But it's kind of the ultimate. I don't want to give it away yet, but it's got some pretty crazy stuff on it. It has night vision on it. I'll just let you know that. And it's kind of a system that's built into itself. So I think you might like the video. So far, everything's working correctly. It's a company that reached out to me and said, hey, we want you to try this. And at first, I just kept blowing them off. And then they were like, hey, we want to send you all this. So they sent it. The product is from China. So it is what it is. But I tested it out. So far, I kind of like it. So I don't know the longevity on it. But anyway, so I've got that video ready and waiting. I've got other videos waiting and ready. They demonetized that video. 2 others that I have in the hopper, they demonetized those automatically. So I've got those under review too. Some of them are first shot videos from some of ARC's guns that I tested that day. I did test the P365X Macro. So a lot of people have been asking me to try it. I've only finger banged it in the store. Now I actually did shoot it. So I've got that. I have another 2011 that I have never shot before. So I'll just tell you it is a 2011. Did shoot that. So there's the first impressions on that one. And anyway, and this other rifle has some parts that a company sent me to put on it, and then the night vision that the company sent to put on it. So y'all will get to check that out. But I think, no, well, it's, yeah. Well, as of right now, it's China, but who knows? I'd love to have, let's see here, I'd love to have a really nice engraved 1911 like a pimp gun. I have an engraved 1911. My DS9 Carry has engraving on it. It says BJGG and it says carry on. And it is engraved into the slide. So it's pretty badass. MPA did that for me and I really like it. David, I do not have any word on the ATF ruling. I have my word on it, and I think y'all know what it is. I've said it numerous times, so we don't need to say it again. But you know, I don't really give two shits. But you know, I guess when we hear about that, we hear about it. It's a total infringement. So, you know, whatever y'all choose to do. Orange man bad, yep. Yeah, gun snob, that's what they're doing to me too. Yeah, that's what they are doing to me. Gun snob, hell, I don't. You know what? I need to subscribe to you. I thought I was. I'll change that after the chat. I'll go over and subscribe to you. Pistol Pete, all of his videos are monetized. Yeah. Ever shot any full size M&Ps? Oh yeah. Hell, I've owned them. I have videos way back with them. Yeah, I mean they're nothing wrong with M&Ps. I actually like M&Ps. Great guns. Yeah, I had the core version, the full-sized 5-inch core version. That was the first optic-ready gun out. I had that one back in the day. I had the M&P Compact, the older one. I had the 9C. Did sell that to a friend of mine. His father lived by himself, and he was older. He needed a home defense gun, so I did sell that to him. That's a friend of the family, and he needed a gun. And naturally, they reached out to me and said, "Hey." So I hooked him up at a really, really great price just because I wanted to help him out. He's since passed, and now one of my really good friends, which was his son, has that gun and he really likes it. So I'm not going to ask for it back or buy it back because he does really like it. And plus, his dad loved it after I sold it to him. And so it means kind of a little bit, sentimental to him too. So. But let's see here. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people, we have a Second Amendment to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. I see it, government is getting more tyrannical in the last 40 to 50 years, just saying yes. And that's another thing. The Second Amendment, we are born with it. It's given to us at birth. If you're a United States citizen, it is given to you at birth. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to rent it. You don't have to lease it. It is given to you at birth. So, that is the thing about it. And y'all know, I mean, I do get political. I'm not a political channel, like Guns and Gadgets and things like that, but I also have my own beliefs. And a lot of this stuff, they can stick it right up their rear end. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, and they can try to push and push and push what they want. That's what I'm saying. They're going to keep pushing what they want, and they're going to try to pass what they want. And they might even pass some things. But at the end of the day, it is your decision to do what you choose to do and what you want to do. So, they sell lawn chairs, foldable lawn chairs at Walmart. I don't have any foldable lawn chairs, and I don't fold like a lawn chair. So we'll just leave it at that. Finish that bad boy just in time, huh? Exactly. And who basically gives the government power? We the people. So they forget that a lot. Yeah, David, and guess where all those people are packing their shit up and moving to? Florida, Texas, all of the free states, and a lot of them are trying to bring their shitty ass beliefs here and to other places. So if they're trying to get the hell out of there just for tax reasons alone, they can stay there. We don't need them. But if they want to get out of there because of the tyrannical government, I can understand that. Or the, Newsom, that freaking puppet. But yeah, hell, y'all are getting me fired up now. But anyway, it is 7:59. We will shut it down. Chris is going to have his chat. He's got some guests on tonight. If y'all want to tune into that, check it out. I will release those videos as they unmonetize or tell me to piss up a rope or whatever. As soon as I get some answers one way or the other, I will put those out. I think you'll like them. It was fun making it. It was fun testing these things. What's funny is, and a company did send me a rifle bag to test. I'm not going to say the company's name because I think I have a shotgun that I can put in it, but it's made for a rifle, and I was really hoping to get this rifle in it, but it's too narrow. It's not tall enough. Like most of your rifle bags are like this thick or this long. This one's like this. So when you put the rifle in there, you can't even zip it up. I mean, I was like, what the heck? I mean, it's like I don't know what the hell they made it for. It's presented as a rifle bag, but I don't know what kind of rifle will fit in it. It's really tiny. So I think I could probably get a shotgun in it, like my 590A1. So I'm going to test it for that. I haven't yet, but we'll see. The bag looks really cool, but I just can't get the rifle. I can't get any of my rifles in it. We also have basically 2A sanctuary in Texas and stuff like that, where the feds, they're not going to assist the feds. It doesn't mean they can't come here, but they're not going to assist the feds in anything they want to do. And it's not that I'm worried about, I'm not worried about any of it, but, I just think more states need to just tell them to pound sand, and you can do what you want to do, but, don't come here. But I appreciate y'all so much. Love one another. And Pistol Pete asked about the job situation, just in case anybody wants to know. Still looking. Don't have any information yet. Waiting for some callbacks if people hadn't heard that. I did say it at the first of the chat, but I've been asked that a lot in some videos, and I just figured I'd respond. But as soon as I have something, I'll let y'all know. Yes, I've got something or whatever. But at the moment, I don't yet. So, but y'all have a great night. I appreciate y'all so much. Love one another. Kiss your family members. Tell them you love them. And y'all have a great night. Remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care.